Alright, welcome to EVE Online, a major freak. So, ore regeneration. Now that I've shown you my technique, it's gotten better, a lot better, since the first videos I made less than a week ago. I'm going to talk about ore regeneration now, because these roids are back, and they're not back in the very truncated form. It seems they're almost back full strength, almost like it's high sec. Not quite, not quite. Maybe it's more. Well, I'll let you listen to the audio I made January 29th. Sorry, blue. um, Not January 29th. On June 5th, 2020, before Jaspit anomalies and lowsec, before the whole we're bored of quadrants, we're gonna throw shit at the wall now for the mining nerf and wastage and all that wonderful stuff. This is what I discovered that had been going on since probably beta. High sec. The day after you mine it out, it comes back to 80%. On Monday and Friday, at downtime, it'll come back at 30%. If it does, the next day it'll go to 70%. But the next day after 80% and 70%, it'll go to 100%. Okay, follow me? Low sec. 20 days to fully regenerate. 3 days until even as the roid appears. So 3 days after you mine it out, it'll reappear at 30%. No, sorry, 25%. 3 days after that, 50%. 4 days after that, 60%. And so on until day 20, it's 100%. Okay?
warp drive active.
So that's my technique. Land, approach as soon as you see the warp drive active, turn off. Otherwise, you're going to see show info. Approach, click, hotkey F4, click, hotkey F2, target roids, activate your lasers. By that time, it's slow is smooth, smooth is fast. By that time, you can turn off your afterburner. As you're closely approaching, it takes less than 30 seconds to get set up, 30 seconds to warp, and approximately 400 seconds to go from your initial point to your warp out point. And warping is 6% of that, setting up is 6% of that time, on average. Yeah, anywhere from 30 kilometers to 50 kilometers. But on average, assuming you were smart enough to find a system with a lot of asteroid belts in low-sec. The interesting thing is that a few years ago, I researched the ore regeneration and discovered, to my horror, that it was different for high, low, and null. Everybody always said, oh, at Friday and Monday at downtime, it comes back to full percent, or some BS. The trolls, forum trolls, forums, and some people innocently pass that information on, and it's anchoring bias. We didn't know any better, so I eventually got curious enough to investigate, because I noticed curious things happening. So I'm like, I better test it. So I am going to play you what I talked about way back 3 years ago.
25%. 3 days.
High
sec.
Sorry.
So, ore regeneration. High sec. The day after you mine it out, it comes back to 80%. On Monday and Friday, at downtime, it'll come back at 30%. If it does, the next day it'll go to 70%. But the next day after 80% and 70%, it'll go to 100%. Okay, follow me? Low sec. 20 days to fully regenerate. 3 days until even as the roid appears. So 3 days after you mine it out, it'll reappear at 30%. No, sorry, 25%. 3 days after that, 50%. 4 days after that, 60%. And so on until day 20, it's 100%. Okay? Now, I might have...
So, null sec, the third downtime, 100%. no exception. It was just like all or nothing. So since then, probably within the year, maybe a bit more, it could have been right after, at the same time they introduced the Jaspit low-sec ore anomalies. I don't exactly know when they coded that, but it was between January 2020, 2021 and June of 2020. I'm assuming that. And something changed, and I haven't looked at it. I haven't been curious about it till now. But I totally suspect right now the working hypothesis is that they've gotten rid of low sec regeneration and made it like null sec. That's what I'm going to guess. Probably wrong, but they're definitely regenerating way more than just 25% after the third day. It just feels odd that I'm being able to mine all this stuff, and then it's not popping right away. I could be incorrect in that assumption. I could be wrong. I haven't ore scanned yet. I'll definitely get on that. But it feels way more robust than it used to be. I could be wrong in remembering. I could be misremembering. But just laying it out there, I think they changed it. I definitely think they changed it. Like, I'd be interested. What's the maximum? Let it go for a while, or go elsewhere. Unfortunately, can't go Singularity. Go elsewhere and check it out with an ore scanner and see if I can mine an asteroid out that I know isn't being mined out by others, and check it out and see if I'm right. See if the ore regeneration has changed. It should be easy enough to test. Unfortunately, there's no Singularity anymore that I can test that. I believe I double checked it on Tranquility as well, but yeah, I believe I did. I mean, I think I've seen videos of me in that playlist about ore regeneration testing, because I would have, because it's like, please let it only be Singularity, but it was not. Almost full here. Dock up. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, things are going to be good for low sec ore money. The anomalies are so annoying because if you go to one, as soon as this is full, I'll warp to it and show you. It's really annoying because it's always in a different spot, which means you can't set up permanent bookmarks that'll last for years, to guarantee, like, this bookmark, that's exactly the same kernite that was there 2 weeks ago. I mined it out, guarantee it. Hands down, I've mined most of these roids out in this belt that I've set up for. 3 days later, they're back. Same spot, same exact spot, same exact composition, same exact disposition, the same kernite type, subtype, exactly. Same amount, of course, in it as well. But it feels like there's a lot more. This is another brave person. It's probably another brave. Yeah, there's a wormhole. I think that's. Oh, okay. That should do it. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah, and by the way, the ore that you just thought you wasted and went to space, it's never left. It never left. If there's any error, like you go at a range or your hold is full, it just stays in the asteroid, guaranteed 100%. Yeah, that was tested to death. It's pretty easy to test too. It's like the noob mission, the career agent missions have a set amount in that, like exact like 10,000 units in or some exact perfect number, and you're able to easily check it with the North scanner. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Anyways, blah blah blah. Let's go and check out this ore anomaly and show you guys before I shut off the video.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, the technique is really smooth, and you just practice it. Launch your drones every time while you're practicing it. You get used to doing all the buttons, and then once you're more experienced, you can go, okay, I don't need to launch the drones now because there's no rats.